In Missoula, Montana, the story of groundwater contamination and shallow disposal systems has turned out differently.
Welcome to Missoula. We're a town of about 60,000 people in the urban area. It's a town that's been very interested in its water resources and recently has been very active in protecting those resources.
The city sits on top of the Missoula Aquifer, its sole source of drinking water.
The aquifer itself is roughly about 150 feet thick. It forms the valley bottom here of the Missoula Valley, and it's made up of mostly cobbles and gravels, which tends to make it very vulnerable to contamination.
Missoula became aware of how vulnerable the aquifer really was when dangerous chemicals showed up in the town's drinking water wells. Mountain Water, Missoula's water utility contractor, was forced to shut down 3 of its wells. EPA, which administers the UIC program in Montana, helped the Missoula Health Department identify shallow disposal systems as the cause of contamination.
We wanted to make sure that we got essentially 100% of the businesses, so we started with simple things like going through phone books and getting lists of different types of businesses such as automotive repair and trucking fleets, things like that. And then we went a step farther and actually took aerial photographs and used those and went out and did what we call windshield surveys and literally drove every street and every alley in Missoula and mapped out the locations of any potential businesses that might have them.
The city identified over 300 potential users of toxic chemicals.
One business can certainly contaminate an aquifer. When we're looking at 300 businesses, then we feel we have a really significant problem.
The local government realized it had to mobilize all available resources in the community to solve the problem of shallow disposal systems. Local business became part of the solution instead of the problem.
Business believes that if you have a clean environment that it's good for business, so the Chamber got involved with a campaign that we call It's Good for Business, where we recognize businesses around town for being environmentally conscious, and we actually went out, interviewed them, and picked awards, and then put them on TV so that the rest of the community could know what these businesses were doing for the environment and for the aquifer.
Business and municipal facilities which used toxic chemicals sealed drains and converted to a dry shop, or reduced or eliminated wastewater by installing holding tanks, or converted to environmentally safe disposal methods.
There is a responsibility that we have as business people because of the water. We're told that Missoula's water here is unique, the situation we have, and I believe it.
Recycling has even become a profitable business.
Since people have been aware of the water problem, our business has grown. More people are conscientious of recycling oil. Here's one of my trucks coming in. I've been doing a pickup at the dealerships in Missoula. It's got 2,000 gallons of used oil on it, and he's going to pull up here to the pump station on a load.
Government facilities had to correct the problem as well.
Some engines leak oil, and it was dripped on the floor, and that oil got mixed with the water from washing the vehicles, and that went into the drains. What we came up with was a holding tank program whereby all of the floor drains were routed into a holding tank.
Missoula also integrated commercial and industrial wastewater disposal with its solid waste management program.
In place of simply disposing of wash water or shop water in a floor drain now, they usually catch it. They're either on sewer or they capture it in a tank and have the tank pumped. The city has been real cooperative in use of their drying beds at the wastewater plant for drying out those wastes, and the city hauls them up to us, and the total cost of that has been pretty minimal compared to what I think people expected it to be in the first place.
The City Council enforced local ordinances to restrict land use over sensitive water supplies and extended the sewer into the business district.
Part of the effort related to this area was to try to extend city sewer, and that was recently done, and that gave the businesses a viable long-term solution to using these shallow disposal wells.
The health department educated community leaders and institutions.
We're looking at 2 models that I use frequently in my presentations for both kids and community groups. We find that having a visual for surface pollution and groundwater pollution, people understand it more, and it's an invaluable tool for me.
TV stations and newspapers got involved. and Missoula gained the support of scores of volunteers to ensure the success of its prevention program. Today, Missoula's groundwater meets EPA's drinking water standards, and all city wells are back online, and the entire community is committed to keeping them that way. Missoula has accomplished this without closing a single business or taking on serious financial burden.
Once we had the need to protect the drinking water supply sold, the rest of it was easy.
It's never too soon or too late to protect your community's water supply. Local officials in Great Falls, Virginia, Espanola, New Mexico, and Missoula, Montana learned that even with protective legislation in place, they had not recognized the real threat of shallow disposal systems.
Local leaders, politicians, have to be thinking of the public good. And the public good is clean water, clean air. And if they fail to assess that, if they fail to remedy that, then there's going to be problems in the future for them.
Take steps today to protect your drinking water. Contact the EPA Safe Drinking Water Act hotline at 1-800-426-4791 for the name of the state and federal agencies that manage the Wellhead Protection Program and the Underground Injection Control Program in your state. You can also reach EPA at this internet address,